Welcome back to Timeless Sagas, my dear history enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the trenches and braving the waves to explore one of the most infamous military campaigns of World War I, the Battle of Gallipoli. So, grab your helmets and hold on to your bayonets as we embark on a journey through time, to discover the gritty realities, the epic human stories, and the hard-learned lessons of this heroic yet tragic saga. Now, let's set the stage. The year is 1915, Europe is embroiled in a brutal war where the Allied powers, led by Britain, France, and Russia, are locked in a deadly struggle with the Central Powers, primarily Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. The Western Front is a stalemate, and the Allies are looking for a way to break through, to weaken their enemies and ultimately, end this devastating war. Enter Winston Churchill, First Lord of the Admiralty, a man whose name would be etched in history for his many deeds, both brilliant and controversial. Churchill proposes a bold plan to seize the Gallipoli Peninsula, located in modern-day Turkey, which was then part of the Ottoman Empire. The goal was to secure a sea route to Russia through the Dardanelles Strait, aid their Russian allies, and knock the Ottoman Empire out of the war. Sounds like a solid plan, right? Well, as we'll see, things didn't exactly go as smoothly as hoped. The Allies assembled a multinational force, including troops from Britain, France, Australia, New Zealand, and other countries. These brave men, many of whom had never seen combat before, were about to be thrown into one of the fiercest and most grueling battles of the entire war. As the saying goes, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry, and the Battle of Gallipoli was no exception. The invasion began on April 25, 1915, with the Anzacs, Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, landing on a narrow beach, soon to be known as Anzac Cove. Unfortunately, they landed about a mile north of their intended landing site, which put them right at the base of steep, rugged cliffs, and well, let's just say the Ottomans weren't exactly rolling out the welcome mat. Under the command of the brilliant German General Lehmann von Sanders and the equally capable Turkish commander Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, who would later become the founder and first president of the Republic of Turkey, the Ottoman troops fiercely defended their homeland. Imagine the scene, thousands of young soldiers, charging headlong into a hail of gunfire, their comrades falling around them, as they struggled to gain a foothold on this foreign land. The Allies, determined to push on, faced numerous setbacks and challenges. The terrain was unforgiving, steep cliffs, dense scrub, and deep ravines made every inch of progress a Herculean task. Supplies were scarce, and troops often went hungry or thirsty, as they fought in the scorching heat of the Mediterranean summer. Disease, especially dysentery, ran rampant through the ranks, further weakening the already exhausted soldiers. Despite these hardships, the men of Gallipoli displayed incredible courage, resilience, and determination. The Anzac troops, in particular, forged a lasting legacy of bravery and mateship in the face of adversity, which is still celebrated today in Australia and New Zealand on Anzac Day, April 25. But let's not forget the human stories that make history truly come alive. Picture the Australian soldier, Private Simpson, who, with his donkey, Duffy, risked his life daily to carry wounded comrades from the battlefield to the safety of the beach. Or the Turkish sniper, Abdul the Terrible, who earned a fearsome reputation among the Allies for his deadly accuracy, but who also displayed chivalry by sparing the lives of unarmed medics and stretcher-bearers. It's these moments of humanity, of compassion and respect between enemies, that truly capture our imagination and remind us that amidst the horrors of war, there is still room for honor and decency. Despite the gallantry of the troops, by late 1915, it was clear that the campaign was failing. Fierce Ottoman resistance, coupled with poor planning, inadequate supplies, and the sheer difficulty of the terrain, had ground the Allied advance to a halt. As the casualties mounted, with over 100,000 dead and many more wounded or missing, the decision was made to evacuate the remaining troops. In a rare moment of military brilliance in the midst of this disastrous campaign, the Allies managed to pull off a near-miraculous evacuation. By December 1915 and January 1916, the last of the soldiers were stealthily withdrawn under the cover of darkness, leaving behind only a handful of drip rifles rigged to fire automatically, to deceive the Ottomans into thinking the trenches were still manned. And so, the Battle of Gallipoli came to an end, leaving a lasting impression on the nations involved in the course of history itself. The campaign had failed in its objectives, and the repercussions were felt far and wide. Churchill was demoted and his military reputation tarnished, though as we know, he would later rise to even greater heights as Britain's wartime Prime Minister during World War II. For the countries of Australia and New Zealand, the Gallipoli campaign became a defining moment in their national identities, fostering a spirit of independence and a fierce pride in the courage and sacrifice of their troops. For Turkey, the battle marked the beginning of Ataturk's rise to prominence, ultimately leading to the establishment of the modern Turkish state. The story of Gallipoli is one of heroism, tragedy, and the indomitable human spirit. It serves as a reminder of the terrible cost of war, the importance of learning from our past mistakes, and the power of unity and perseverance in the face of adversity. Thank you for joining me today on Timeless Sagas, as we explored the unforgettable story of the Battle of Gallipoli. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating journeys through history, and until next time, let the sagas of the past continue to inspire and inform the stories of our present and future.